Welcome back, everybody. Todd Huey here with Lone Star Boars, Huey Outdoors. If you don't know what Huey Outdoors is, that's my store. I sell night vision and thermal. Go check us out at hueyoutdoors.com. You'll see it here somewhere here on the screen, or you can give me a call. So if you're looking for night vision or thermal, go ahead and do that. Right now, we're running some pretty awesome deals. If you buy night vision or thermal, we're covering the sales tax. So there will be no sales tax. We eat that, and then we're also running free shipping. On top of that, we're doing a customer appreciation hog hunt. I'm probably going to draw multiple people and do multiple hunts, but for sure, and we'll see how the first one goes, but one person that is a customer that bought night vision or thermal, it's not accessories, not batteries, night vision or thermal. If you bought night vision or thermal in 2024, you're going to be entered in a raffle. The last day of that is going to be December 31st, 2024. And then in January 2025, we're going to do the drawing. And that will be whoever gets drawn will come do a night vision thermal hunt with me for pigs in Texas, and we'll take care of everything. All you have to do is get yourself here and get home. Other than that, we'll take care of everything. We'll film it and we'll put it on YouTube, and it'll be a great time. Hopefully we'll get a lot of pigs. So if you're a customer for Huey Outdoors in 2024, you don't need to do anything. You're automatically entered into that raffle. Other than that, go check us out on Rumble. YouTube's always changing up the rules. So far we've been okay, but you never know what they're gonna do. There's been some channels, and Rumble is, if you don't know, is another platform. It's new, but it's getting better all the time. More and more people over there, and they don't do all the nonsense, the censorship or anything like that. So go ahead and follow, even if you don't watch it over there. That way, if the channel does disappear sometime, most of your favorite channels, gun channels, are already over there, and it's a great backup source for this stuff in case one day you wake up and we're just gone off of YouTube. All right, into the meat and potatoes. This is the Cmmg Mk47 Dissident. It is the latest and greatest version of the original Mutant. This one is 12.5 inch. I've had this now for about 6 months. I didn't do a video on it when I first got it because everybody got one. Everybody was doing a video on it. I started it. I actually have the footage from it, and I decided, you know what? I'm just gonna run the crap out of this and see what happens, and then I'm gonna do a 6 month video. So here we are. Just to show you, I still have and run my original Cmmg Mutant. This thing I've had for 10 years, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds. I don't know how many pigs I've killed with this. It is a beast, and it keeps running. The reason it was called a Mutant is because it has an AR-15 platform, takes AK-47 magazines, and it had an AR-10 bolt carrier group, aka the Mutant, because it was a mutation of 3 different platforms. Unfortunately, at least the story I hear through the grapevine is somebody at CMMG didn't trademark, copyright, whatever it is, the Mutant name. Some small unknown gun company did, and now there's some small gun that I've never even seen called the Mutant, and they can't call it the Mutant anymore. So now we have the Mk47 Dissident. But this Dissident is more of a Mutant than the original Mutant ever was. Again, this is the 12.5 inch AR-15 style body here, AK-47 magwell and magazine, AR-10 bolt carrier group, but also it's like the MCX, no buffer tube. Everything still functions like an AR-15, except you don't have your charging handle back here, which I almost reached for just out of habit. You have a side charging handle that's non-reciprocating. I have it set up for left-handed use because I'm left-handed, but it'll go on either side. And back here, you still have your bolt carrier group, but instead of a buffer tube, you have these springs up here, which all goes in to the upper, letting you use different stocks, like this B&T that comes with it, folding stock that gets out of the way. Now, again, I've been running this for 6 months. I've had all different kind of setups. Since day one, I've run this can on here. This is the Dead Air Nomad Titanium from Silencer Shop. It's lightweight, it sounds great. It was almost made for this platform. I have not changed it because I like it so much. It works great on here. I have the Mall Visible laser and IR laser. And then from Huey Outdoors, I have the Rick's Storm Thermal, which is a very tiny, I've almost knocked the eyepiece, I'll just take the eyepiece off. It is very tiny thermal weapon sight that comes with a throw lever return to zero mount that you can take off and use as a monocular or a weapon sight. There is the 640 and a 384 version. I would easily say that this, in my opinion, is the best bang for the buck thermal out in 2024. The 640 version is 2X and $2,700, well, almost $2,800. The 384 version is almost $1,800. That is a steal for something this small and with the image quality that this has. But that'll be a later video coming up soon. We'll talk about that. Right now, we're going to talk about the Mk47 Dissident. I have somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 rounds of this. Day one, I put a case of 1,000 just steel case FMJs through it. Unfortunately, I don't know if I deleted the footage from that or if I've just lost it, but I found some clips, but I can't find all of it. In fact, the first thing I did, I took this out of the box. I oiled it, and I haven't cleaned this in 6 months and 6,000 rounds. In fact, well, let's open it up again. I oiled it straight out of the box when I first got it, but it is filthy. My hands are black, but I have oiled it. So it has been oiled, but never cleaned in 6 months. And all I've shot through it is dirty steel case ammo. The only failures that I had were my first rounds, first few magazines right out of the box. I was getting double feeds. This, one of the upgrades to this over the original Mk47 Mutant is this has an adjustable gas block. This one, for whatever reason, came out of the box. It was even overgassed without a suppressor. Put the suppressor on, it was really overgassed. The gas block's up here, Allen wrench in, easy adjustment. It's run fine ever since. So out of the box, I had some malfunctions, but again, it was a gas issue. After that, it has run flawlessly. I love the rifle. There's more stuff I love about it than I don't like about it, so I'm gonna go across some of the things that bothered me and that I had to get used to it on it, and then we'll finish up here. You're gonna see different things because I've filmed different. I've started this video multiple times in the 5 months, and you'll see some clips from they'll be running as I'm going here. You're gonna see some of these things at the range and different things. But number one, most AK mags are not gonna lock back. This is an empty mag. Ow. Having a hard time pulling. I messed up my ribs doing jujitsu here, so it's hurting. But it won't lock back. But it does have a bolt catch. So you are able to, they added a bolt catch to it. Now, normally, you know, I run dry, drop the mag, put a new loaded mag in, which is still an empty mag, hit my bolt release, and good to go. Not for this rifle. The bolt does not come back far enough. You cannot hit the paddle and let it go to load it because the bolt only comes back halfway. So you put your new mag in, if you got it locked back, you still have to pull all the way back and release. Otherwise, you're not gonna have a round in the chamber. So that's one weird thing that took me a minute to get used to just because of years and years of hitting that paddle and being ready to go. Number two, a lot of times I'll do a press check. I get it, I'll do a press check, make sure I got a round in the chamber. Yep, got a round in the chamber. Well, multiple times when I've done a press check, especially because it's dirty. I mean, I'm sure if it was super clean, this wouldn't be a problem. It doesn't close all the way. And then what you get is, this is an unloaded gun, but you go to fire, you get a click because the bolt, the firing pin isn't going to hit the primer because the bolt's not all the way closed. There's no forward assist. So if you get that, you're just going to have to rack it and let it go. The last thing, everything else that I kind of don't like about this is the stock. I think the stock looks awesome. It's very comfortable, a lot of adjustment, fits me perfect. But number one, I think this is a design flaw. Like on the CZ Bryn, you fold this up, it locks in place. This, it just flops around. There's nothing to lock. I mean, it locks closed, but there's nothing to lock it up against the weapon, which is a shame because since there's no buffer tube, you can actually fire this with this down. Now the great thing is you can get all different kinds of stocks for this. I will probably eventually switch this to a standard tube style collapsible M4 style stock on here. The stock, I don't know if you can see that, I can twist it just like that. It feels very flimsy. When I put it on my shoulder, I can bend it. I don't know, I can bend the whole thing. So I get up, I grip, I feel it moving. It just bothers me. It hasn't seemed, again, 6 months, it's worked fine. The only thing that I've broke on this rifle is the stock. If you can see, right here, this is the release button to extend or shorten the stock. It's ambi, the same thing on this side. But if you'll notice, there's no button on this side anymore. There is a button on this side. How that happened was not cleaning the rifle, firing, you know, thousands and thousands of rounds. I let it sit up, round in the chamber, went to use it. It was stuck in there good because it's all filled with carbon and everything else. Didn't have any oil in it, so it locked it. I collapsed the stock and I mortared it, which is you hit the, if you don't know, you hit the stock on the ground, you pull on this at the same time and you get that stuck round out. When I did, there was a spring and this button was laying on the ground, so it broke the stock. Now, to its credit, that was within the first month and it still works fine. I just have one button instead of two, and I have not broke this one, but I also haven't mortared it again, but it's been beat around. Now, also to CMMG's credit, they did send me a new stock, but I haven't put it on here yet because this one is still working. I emailed them immediately when it happened because I thought it was going to fail because I thought this wouldn't work. But that is one good thing about the stock is each side is independent of its own and it still functions. So stock looks sexy, it feels good, but it moves, makes me uncomfortable. Again, I'll probably change the stock. Other than that, super accurate. It's the perfect length at 12.5 inches. You get full powder burn really with 7.62 by 39 at 9 inches or so, right at 9 inches. This is the perfect length for the buggy, which I do a lot of the buggy, which if you haven't seen is our video shooting from the side-by-side. I ride electric bikes around. It's the perfect length and size for that. It's lighter than the original Mutant was, even though the original was a 10.5. This whole thing, even the 12, even the 16 inch is lighter than I think the 10 inch short barreled was. So a light platform, again, even though it doesn't lock, that does help with storage solutions. You know, you can put it in a bag, you take the suppressor off and it's really small. So overall improvement over the original Mutant. The only downside that I've seen, like I said, was the gas block wasn't adjusted right out of the box, which is not a big deal. And then the stock, which CMMG doesn't even make, but again, that's more, I think, personal preference than actual function because it's still working. It has not affected accuracy. That's not the rifle's part. Been able to kill a bunch of pigs with it. Highly recommend it. I'm sure this is going to last me 10 years and more, just like the other one. I will wear the barrel out, I think, before I wear this weapon system out. So if you hadn't checked it out, go check out CMMG. This is the new Mutant. They have this 12.5 inch so far is the shortest one you can get. There's a 14.5 inch that's pinned and welded, and then I believe there's a 16 inch. I will get a 16 inch because this is my kind of up close and personal gun. I want a full 16 inch to use out in the fields, and just because I've grown to really love 7.62 by 39. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe. If you got any questions, comment below. And you've already seen this in a lot of videos, and you'll be seeing it a lot more to come.